live webinar, and this is happening every Wednesday at 7 o'clock. You're covering different topics. The most important one is what's going on in the market, as well as some techniques that sometimes I bring some people to talk and present. Today I'm going to take over and share with you some of the techniques I use to find the property I'm looking for, not necessarily sitting in my car and going around the city to find those properties. So there are different easy way to do that. I'm going to introduce you to some of those techniques that we have here. Now, as usual, I'm going to mention that the goal for this real estate investment seminar here is to move from what we call it as average realtor to a savvy realtor. And that is the difference between getting blown by a right and left with any news in the market towards a more precise and more money-making decision. Now, at the beginning, I'm going to, because after this, I'm going to get you into the actual material that I'm going to share with you, as well as I'm going to take you online this time so you can see everything that's happening live. So learning tools and material, you all have access to my YouTube channel. There are many different topics in real estate investment, and you can go there and enjoy it. There are a lot of clips there. Now, Facebook for investors is also there. Here and there are good opportunities that is going to be posted there, and some investors also sharing some information or challenges there as well. These are all learning tools. Now, I also offer my book, which is on Amazon.com, Think Beyond Your Limits, which is a mindset for investors and successful real estate investors, which is full of strategies and techniques for real estate investors. It doesn't matter what level you are, you just started or you've been in the market for a long time. Real estate market activities update. Now let's take a look at what's going on right now in the market precisely and with numbers. There's no guess here. So this news I heard is that 1/3 of Canadians no longer want to live in an urban center. Surveys say that, and I understand why. One of the things that caused by COVID-19 was for people to realize that they don't need to actually go to their working place. They can work from the comfort of their house, no matter where their house is. The majority of people I know, they moved out of or downtown Toronto. And for the first time, the companies appreciate that and permitted that. And now it's something that is accepted. So it's a new trend. Now, by saying that, I'm looking at many places, properties in downtown Toronto. Look at the building we have here. On the main floor, there are usually retail. Second, third floor is either rental or also offices for lawyer, etc. Now, due to COVID-19, many of these business owners, they realize that, oh, there's no walk-in clients. They can sell their products online, such as, let's say, a shoe store. They can sell online. So technically, there is less dependency to the location. So therefore, many of them are now vacant, and the landlord under pressure, thinking what they should do. And guess what's happening right now in downtown Toronto? Yes, they are purchased, they are tear down, the builders putting brand new residential buildings. So many of those commercial are now converted to residential, which is a demand for that as well. Now, also Toronto Regional Real Estate Board said homes sales hit record for August, and we're going to go through that. That's very true. Close to 40% more transaction happened. Pandemic turns Toronto rental market upside down, hands power to tenant. That's very true. Many people left downtown Toronto, such as a lot of students for UFT, for instance, or Ryerson. They don't need to be in walking distance to the school since they can run everything. They can attend their courses online. So there's a huge vacancy rate in downtown Toronto as we speak. Now here is a proof of that. Average one-bedroom apartment rents, it went down -5. That is the demand. for one bedroom, it's -5. Now, in terms of total new listings, total new listing went up 42%, means there are more listing for condo on the market right now, and they want to sell. The owner wants to sell. Now, next page, we are talking about Toronto condo sales down 50% last year, but prices are up. So yes, there are people on the market trying to sell. The price, don't think it dropped. It's not. It's very much stay where it is. There's no cry of desperation. However, I see a little bit of shift with the builders because they have many units to sell. The second news, Toronto home sales up 45%, 45.6% in February from a year ago, and that's very true. Now, the funny thing is the next news. I've seen that for the last 3 years in downtown Toronto. Many of these buildings on the front, they have a garage that is useless sitting there. And some of the smart people there, what they do, they're converting those garages to a building. Look at the picture I have here in the news. A couple transformed $50,000 garage into multi-million-dollar Toronto home. And that's amazing what they do. So instead of having one place in one lot, they have two now. And city very well permit that because there's a need. Here's one of the situation with the builders. They look at this, what they do that. Right now, there's huge push to sell more units from those builders. So, for instance, this builder said, "Hey, $70,000 now, 5% in 30 days, 1%, 1%, 1%, all the way." I think they close on 2023. So all they need is 1% here, 1% there. Compared to a few years ago, the builders were asking 30% now. 10% now, 5% in 30 days, 5% in 90 days, and this is it. But right now, there are more flexibility for the buyer to buy the units from the builders. Okay. Total residential transaction, we have more homes right now on the market, buying and selling 40% more than last year. And compared to last month, is 10% higher. So August was much more than last year, 40% more transaction. Now, important things here is the average selling price. What's happening compared to last year? So many people thought the market would crash. Well, it went up 20%, 20.1% compared to last year. And compared to last month, 2.6%. So we are on the right for increase of the price for properties. So properties are getting more expensive. They are not dropping to half or getting cheaper. Here's the condominium sales status. As you can see, the condominium apartment for sale is -50. So there are less buyers buying condo, and average price did not move down. It went up 5% despite of the desperation. The condo owners are holding to their properties. They don't want to underprice and sell it. Now here's another valid information. So this is a 3 previous years for comparison. This is a sell. This is the transactions happening. As you can see, April and May, people were panicked by COVID-19. The number of transactions was less. So that's where you can see the seller market. Now it is more of a buyer market, and there are many homes on the market buying and selling. Next graph is new listing. As you can see, we have more listings right now in the month of July and August, through September on the market. So that creates a more balanced market rather than just seller market. Now resale price, we did not drop. The only month that was the price was okay compared to last year was April, and then after that, May, June, July, skyrocket. August is very high, more than any other previous years, last 3 years. Now, internet hacking to find real estate deals. Okay. So here we get to the material that I wanted to share with you. There are ways you don't need traditionally to jump into your car, go around the city, look for sale sign. There are many things you can do through internet and without really go around and waste your time. So this is not the only way. Once as a real estate investors, you find a clue or a guideline through your research online, then you have to get involved and step out of your place, go talk to realtor, go talk to the owners, and walk through the neighborhoods. So the techniques I'm showing to you is not only for not using a realtor, it's combined. So I always 100% suggest you to use a real estate agent. Their service as a buyer, a client is for you is free anyways. So why not using their expertise? Just make sure you have your own power team and they are qualified to guide you and help you with the information they provide to you. So everything we see right now is something that you can have access to it immediately, or you can have access to it through a realtor. So this, we all have access to it. You don't need a real estate agent. Real estate agent can filter properly the search through their MLS.net, but here is realtor.ca is accessible to everybody, and it's quite powerful for you to browse through and find out the properties, neighborhoods, the price range, and that would give you a little bit of guideline where you want to invest. And also you can pull out the rental for each property and each neighborhood. For instance, if you go to the city of Vaughan, okay, the prices are all right, but is the tenant pays you enough or not? If you cannot get enough money there for your rent, then you may want to go to another neighborhood that is lower price to purchase it and pays well. Certain part of Mississauga, certain part of Oakfield only. Milton is not bad. These are the area you can check. Now, this is what the public usually they don't have access to. This is what some real estate agents they use. Broker Bay is a company that is working in real estate industry, and the reason I'm using it is very much they offer you exclusive listings. These are the listings that are not available on the market. It is not provided through MLS or realtor.ca. So if you contact a real estate agent that has access to Broker Bay, they can pull out not on MLS listings, or you can call it private sales, that's fine. But technically we call them exclusive listings. You can find some of the assignments here as well. And you can contact the agent and go see the property, and you will not see any for sale signs in front of the house. And you can find a good deal here. Now, listing.ca, some of you are familiar with listing.ca. It's very powerful, and it brings up different neighborhoods in Toronto, for instance, Aurora, Barrie, if you look at the left side of it, Brampton, Burlington, Caledon. So it covers a lot in GTA. Even it has Hamilton for you. So what it does, I'm going to show you within a few minutes how I'm browsing through this live, and you can understand how it works. And this is accessible for anyone. Just go to listing.ca. You may want to write it down. Next one, you all know that I'm using the real estate home price index. This would give you a guideline of where to go. For instance, if you are targeting Mississauga, these are different neighborhoods in Mississauga that will give you the 10 years trend or 5 years, and you can pick the neighborhood you want. Now, if you want to get a little bit technical, I want you to take a look at, let me see which neighborhood. The neighborhood that goes negative, let's say East Credit. East Credit, if you look at 3 months, is minus 154. Now, if you look at 1 month trend, it went worse, it went cheaper. So it's 1.61. And that's exactly where you may want to go. And the 10 years trend, 108 is great. So right now, the price in this section in this area is credit are very good price. Now, don't look at all the negative. For instance, if you look at Applewood was low 3 months ago, but now it's sort of recovering. It's going up towards positive. So you might have missed the train there. But if you go to East Credit, you might be able to get a better bargain. But remember, this is not the only tool you should use. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean you go to East Credit and all of a sudden you're going to see a lot of homes on the market for cheap, but you have to really cherry pick all of them. Now, Confidus is another site that you may want to use. This is very easy to use. It shows you, let's say, the number of properties, what's happening throughout the city. And also, if you look at the bar up there, the colorful one, it shows the growth. And you have the selection of a few different months or 1 year or 3 years growth. Now, the most red it gets, the higher their growth happen. Now, certain area such as, I think that's the older neighborhood in Milton that shows blue. So there are less activities or less growth happen there. So this is the long-term growth. Is something similar to the home price index that I show you, but it's very much graphic and very interactive. Now, for some of you who are looking to screen your tenant, I told you this one before, there is a site called Naborly, and you can go there. Their service to screening is free. However, once you get involved with them, I think if I'm not mistaken, they charge you 3% rent per month, and there are different responsibilities that they take charge. For instance, if your tenant stopped paying, they would send a lawyer to look after your tenant. They arrange the eviction for you, and I think they would cover the missing rent for you as well. So they have, it's very advantageous for so many people. Okay, so I want to show you another, this is a tip for you. I'm going to show you how I use an MLS sheet when I get it. It's not only the information of the house, there are things that I look at. You can do the same thing, or your real estate agent can do the very same thing. So one of the things here is at the very bottom of the sheet, you're going to see the original price, 1,249,000,000. Now, interestingly, after 5 years, DOM is day on the market. After 5 years, they are changing the price to $9.99. So what does it say? It says within 5 years, they're really showing a sign of desperation. They really want to let it go. Maybe they are in distress or some kind of problem inside the house that they really want to burn and go. So it doesn't mean you find one of these price change property in short period of time, you should jump on it. You have to do your due diligence. But this is a green sign, green light for you to get involved with the information we have here and investigate to see if it's a true bargain or not. Another example here I have, if you look at the bottom, the price was $1,299,000, and this is in Oakville. And within short period of time, less than a week, they decided to drop their price to almost $25,000 less, $1,274,000. Let it go, let it go, let it go. It seems they are tangled or under pressure. They want to really sell it go. And that, you can go inside the house and lowball it. This is another example. This is in Collington, and the original price was $599,900 on the bottom of the page. Now, within 5 days, they changed the price to $579,000. So they dropped the price down. There should be some problem inside the house. They want to go, and they clearly on the position remarks, which is below the picture, right in the middle, it said position remarks October 12. So they told you exactly they are getting closer to October 12, so they are panicking. So bingo, this is one of the property you may want to knock at the door. Now, I'm going to move out of this place. I'm going to go live. And let me see if I can change my screen to online activities. Okay, so let me take you to, okay, this is the home price index. You can see the number of pages. So it covers one story in different neighborhood of Toronto, and it goes for close to 200, 250 pages. And every page covers certain things. Now we got to two stories here. And this is Georgina, for instance. Now you go down, you're going to see two stories detached homes. Now then you go to apartments, so it's very precise. Now another page, this is the rental properties that I mentioned to you, that you can go there and ask question, or they ask you, you ask them to help you. Now let's go to listing.ca. Okay, if you look at this graphics, it shows the growth for different formats of home. The brown, for instance, is detached homes, and the very bottom one is the condominium. So it shows you how the price is going up for different kind of homes. Now here tells you exactly what is happening, what is available in the market. But regardless of this, because you have access to this through realtor.ca, if you go to the third bar here, it shows you the neighborhood, for instance. And if you look at the right side of the screen, whenever you move your cursor to that area, you're going to see different things happening. All right. Now let's go see if we can see anywhere else. Sometimes it's loaded so much with information. So Milton, on the left side, we choose. Now let's go and pick Mississauga. So this is happening in Mississauga. So if I go to the map, you will see how different parts of Mississauga is growing in price. So you don't necessarily need to have access to the home price index. You can do it here as well. And anytime you move your cursor to different neighborhoods, you can see the value on the right side of properties and the growth. Now, if you go to historic chart, you see almost the same trend happening with Mississauga. Now you can always go to the left side. You can pick, let's say, Toronto. Okay. In Toronto, we have huge move for the condominium. Now it's slowed down, and different neighborhoods growing different. Now you see darker blue, and you see lighter area. So this is where we saw a lot of growth happening in Toronto. And there is a way to also scale it to different time of, and by the way, it has for sale, it has for rent as well. And I know there is also a way for you to customize it to, let's say, so now we go to a certain area, customize it to the time of this choice, such as 1 year, 3 years, 5 years. I don't remember what it was, but it should be around here. Okay. And you can choose whether you're looking for condo or you're talking about detached homes. Okay, so this is what we have in listing.ca. So it's very, very interactive. It's very educational, and you can use it for different evaluation for different neighborhoods. But you have to pick it up from the left side, Aurora, for instance. What is there in Aurora? Same go. Okay. So closer to 404, Aurora was going much faster. And so this is for listing.ca. Now we go to Confidis. Confidis is also help you with understanding the trend of the market, what's going on. You can go even to Burlington. I think you can go to Hamilton. Yeah, further. So the blue area, for instance, if you're familiar with Hamilton, you know the blue area is not that much of favor for anyone. So The blue area is not moving as much as the other area. I think Grimsby, Stony Creek is moving very well. There are new builders putting homes there all the time. Now, do we have Brantford? Brantford, oh yeah, here you go. It's red, it's hot. Brantford, because of the price, it's attracting a lot of investors to that neighborhood. And there are also builders, and it goes multiple offers for beautiful homes. And I see many people, because of the GO train and quick access through the highway, they're choosing to go there. Between Brantford to Mississauga is almost close to 40 minutes drive. So let me take you to Toronto, see what we have in Toronto. Okay, so I was talking about the 1 year, 3 years. That was not in listing.ca. That was here in this software, in this program. So if you go to other filters, it will give you a range of days on the market. It can give you parking or kitchen. So let's say days on the market for 60, let's say 180 days. So you're going to see a slightly different color. It's not much happened, so you cannot visibly see it. Now it also gives you the sold or for sale. It gives you the type of property you're looking for. If you're looking for, let's pick condo, for instance. It shows you the available condos right now in the market. The number of bedrooms. So it's very interactive. If you want to find a place, everything is right in front of you. So let's say you're interested in this neighborhood. Let's say you open Etobicoke and you don't know where to go. As soon as you take a look at this colorful map, you know which area is moving very fast and very strong. So here you're talking about $7 million house. If you go to certain neighborhood, let's go to Milton. There's no listing there in Milton, but let me change this one too. Okay, so right now there is 8 in this neighborhood. There are, I see some condos here. I know they built some condos, but this is the old area in Milton. There are a lot of commercial here on the main street, and not surprised you see it blue because most of the deals here are commercial, not residential. Now you go down, you're going to see a random number of bungalows, and these are where the bungalows are. The rest of Milton's, we're talking about most the south side of it. These are all brand new homes or more standard homes that are appealing to many people. So that's all I want to show you. This would help you with your research. As I said, an agent might know or might don't know how to use these tools. Listing.ca, for instance, Confidis is for public, as well as realtor.ca. But a good real estate agent can use all of this, including home price index, to find the right properties and find you the right price. So one of the techniques I always use, I go, for instance, this is the MLS for real estate agents. I go to, let's say I go to lease, and I pick from the map, and this map would give me different neighborhood. Let's say I pick Mississauga. I want to know in this area, Winston Churchill area, what are the rents? Is it worth it for me to buy a house? And if I put some criteria here, let's say $2,900 per month for a 3-bedroom house, what do I get? So there are a variety of it. Of course, what I do, I would go and pick the best one, let's say 2,900. Actually, I go back. This is what I do. I go to something cheaper. I know detached homes are more expensive than semi, and townhouses are cheaper. So if I can get a cheap property, a much lower property, which is with freehold townhouses, for $2,900, why should I spend $50,000 to $100,000 more and get a detached home? So I would jump on any of this kind of deals. So all I have to do by looking at, so every line, every column can educate you towards the right direction. So if what I do, I would pick one of this, then I identify where the location is. This is Churchill Meadow. Now I go to my chart here. There you go. I go to my chart and look for Churchill Meadow. When I find my Churchill Meadow, then I would check, make sure the growth is amazing, which I know it is. Churchill Meadow grow very well. Let me see if I can find it. This is Toronto. This is Brampton coming to Mississauga. Here you go. So Churchill Meadow, here you go. So the growth was 106, was amazing. So I go back to my search and investigate to see if there is any purchasing property in that neighborhood. So what I do, and believe me, there are many agents that don't know how to do all this search, but this is very, very powerful tools that someone can use to immediately find the right property. And once you find the property, it's easy. You go to, I have a calculator here, and I'll show you where it is. So you go to my calculator or to any real estate calculator. What I do, I'll go back to my search and focus here. I'm looking for townhouse, rooms, and see what I can find. So let's say I find this one. Price is $735. It's 3 bedrooms plus 1 in the basement, 4 washrooms, finished basement. So they're asking for $735. Now I go to my calculator, I put $735 approximately, and let's say I pay 20% of it. I select my amortization year, which is always 30 years for investment. I select my rate. Let's say I pick Scotiabank rate, and this calculator would tell me my cost to carry my mortgage is $2,168. Okay, so $2,168 is my mortgage, and my rent is $29. So that sounds very good. Next thing, of course, you have to do, you have to add your tax and insurance to it. Insurance usually $50 to $80, depends, and your tax should be around $300 per month. So you add $300 to this, we're talking about 24, let's say 2,500. You add another 60 to it. So we are going to land somewhere around 2,700 per month, and you are collecting 29. So this is no brainer. And that's how, from the comfort of your home or together with a real estate agent, you can immediately find good properties. And I guarantee this kind of properties will not last long, and it will go very, very fast. So if you have any question, let me know. Otherwise, I think I'm getting to the end of this session, this webinar. And I'm just going to close this one. And so we have another exciting webinar that is coming up next week of one of the investors that is doing a lot of flip. And he's going to show us how he makes money with his flip, how he started, and how some of you, if you're interested, you can get into that as well and profit through it. So if anyone has any question, send me an email, deltaland123@gmail.com, or you can call me at 647-407-4049, and I can gladly give you a hand or help you there. I wish you all the best, and thank you for joining for this session of real estate investment webinar. All the best, and see you soon.